Hello, everybody. I appreciate the opportunity to share some of my thoughts regarding creating versus consuming at the elementary level. But first, a little bit behind the voice. My name is Kevin Deisler. I'm currently a middle school STEM teacher at Klinger Middle School in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Prior to this position, I taught for 12 years in a previous district, 6 years doing almost everything at the middle school before landing a contract teaching elementary technology for the next 6 years. I attempted to push newer mindsets and infuse STEM within our schools, and I've been a Keystone Technology innovator, lead learner, and I hope to present for the first time at Pete and C this coming February. I'm also a FIRST robotics mentor, which is where most of my passion lies right now. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. Deisler. And I didn't put it on here, but if you're welcome to follow our robotics team and connect there with at Klinger Robotics. So you can find that. And, you know, as humans, we consume a lot. Most of our consumption comes in the form of entertainment, whether it's TV, our phones, social media, restaurants, but we're also creators. And since the beginning of time, humans have had to create to survive. And in fact, when it comes to survival, my 8-year-old son fascinates me. He will consume hours of YouTube videos on how to play Minecraft and then go and survive or create in these amazing worlds he creates. And Minecraft to me is actually an amazing way to incorporate the 4 C's into your classroom. And it gives you everything that we hope to get out of our kids, because if someone playing Minecraft, they hunt a chicken, they have to figure out how to cook the chicken before they can eat the chicken. Yes, it's survival, and a lot has been said about Fortnite being along the same lines of the creationism within the games themselves. Not everybody agrees with the background of it. However, if you take time to look at that model that they use, they've hit a home run with the kids, and the kids are actually learning through those games. But the 4 C's are the educator's superpowers. If you can harness the power of these C's, your classroom and your students will be the place you want to be every day. You could say that these are 21st century skills. We've been in the 21st century now for almost 21 years, right? Depending on whether you count 2000 or 2001 as year one. So these skills are just about old enough to drink. And I believe that these are everyday skills that students and teachers should practice every day. So why are we still referring, this is just kind of my input here about referring to things as 21st century learning? We've been in this long enough. This should be everyday learning by this point. I put in here, there's some research and some opinions that there should be a 5th C to accommodate a more digital world for computational thinking. I'll let you explore that, form your own opinion about it, whether or not it's 4 C's, 5 C's. Either way, our kids are learning through creating, and these things are coming out of that process. Now, you can Google the 4 C's, and I do this often, actually, just trying to pick up different things about the 4 C's. This is a screenshot of just a sampling of charts. And I should have zoomed out on my browser to get really more, but so many people have reinvented the wheel on the graphics of the 4 C's. Really, there's 21st century learning right there. Communication, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity. If your students are doing these 4 things, they are going to shine. Allowing students some creativity gives them choice, and it gives them voice. They're allowed to be more expressive, which can fuel the innovation process. And creativity is fun. Allowing them to create gives them power, and they'll share more than what you expect. A couple of apps I found, Book Creator I've used. You can create and tell about a story. There are some teachers that will allow their students to rewrite an entire curriculum within Book Creator. And then they'll use that content for sharing later for the next year's class. So they're building their knowledge base instead of consuming what the teacher's giving them. They are exploring their own learning practices, and they are creating their content. Green Screen by Do Inc. Phenomenal. I don't think you can say enough about it. Play around with it. I actually put it on my phone, and when we go out to restaurants, I might bring, if they have like a green napkin, you can set that up, and then you can entertain the kids by making stop motion coffee creamer things, and iMovie. Put it all together, packages it up in a nice video. Great creative apps. In this day and age, the smartest one in the room is the room. The world's at the fingertips of almost all of our students, and allowing these students to collaborate with each other builds the community, acceptance, and the soft skills needed for proper communication. Google Drive, Office 365, I think, are the two really main apps. I was able to pilot both of these at my last school district. Ultimately, our last school district went with Office 365. District I'm in now is Google Drive. They are the exact same thing, different operating system for all intents and purposes. Yes, there's some bells and whistles that each one offers. However, the idea is the same. A student can be on one side of the room, a student can be on the other side of the room. They can be working in the same presentation, the same application, and they build that community and the communication skills necessary to achieve objectives. Critical thinking. This is the digital age, and we really need our students to think about lower order thinking and higher order thinking. But we want them to really take a step back of things that they learn and look at the 5 W's: the who, the what, the where, the why, the when, and really ask themselves the question, who is sharing this information that I'm learning? And what do I need to know about it? And do I need to look for another resource? This is the process that really gets them diving deeper into the content that they're learning. And with the digital age and how everything continues to change, we really need kids to think a little bit more outside the box, as opposed to if something is said to them or told to them, they need to be able to form their own opinion about it. And so this is where we look at these orders of thinking and how do students interpret that information so that they can apply it later. And communication, it builds the self-esteem. It gives teacher-student growth. If there's good communication in the classroom, not only will the teacher be happy, the student will thrive, and they'll be able to analyze each other in terms of the problem solving. If they are able to communicate effectively, and the teacher is able to communicate their ideas, and the students are able to communicate their ideas back and with each other, the problem-solving level will increase. So instead of, again, going back to that lower order, they'll be able to increase to that higher level thinking a little bit easier with better and effective communication. Communication itself is ever-changing as well. Facebook's now for the old folks, and Snapchat and Instagram are in, and if we communicate properly, we are not just giving kids and sharing all of the great things that we are doing in the classroom, but perhaps we have a class Instagram page or a class Twitter page so that the kids can build themselves proper online skills to share what it is their class is doing into the community. And it builds that camaraderie and that communication as well, being able to share what it is they do. Now, computational thinking kind of falls into the STEM, STEAM stream, depending on which acronym you're going to buy into right now. My favorite right now happens to be HAMSTER, which stands for Humanities, Arts, Math, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Reading. And at that point, I just call it school. So computational thinking has a place. It's how you interpret that. That's what I'm leaving on to you. And to get your thoughts on that, tweet at me. Let me know what you think about it. But thanks for letting me hang out with you and giving me the opportunity to share some of my thoughts. I know I talk fast. I'm trying to keep it down into a quenched time period here. But best of luck to you. Remember, it's your story to tell. If you don't tell it, somebody else could get it wrong. So tell your story, be proud of your story, and best of luck to you.